Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop whoop. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have one of your favorites. You know her, you love her, Kate Casey from Reality Life with Kate Casey. Welcome back to Juicy Scoop.
Thank you for having me. Love to be here. So happy to see you.
Thank you. We always have such a good time. We always have so much to talk about. And we're going to get right into it because it was a big weekend for Real Housewives of Prisoners. There was another horrible arrest as far as I think there's going to be some real time done. This is Real Housewives of Potomac, one of their most highly educated housewives that we've ever had. Dr. Wendy would often say, I have 4 degrees. She was a professor at Johns Hopkins. Her husband was a lawyer. So Wendy and her husband claimed that they came back from a vacation with their kids in Jamaica to find that their house had been broken into, but only things were stole someone came through a bathroom window and got into her closet and stole jewelry and handbags and items like that. And then they reported it to the police and their insurance and went along their way. Then what they were arrested for with numerous felonies is insurance fraud and filing a fake police report. They believe that there was no robbery, that the crime scene was suspicious. It was like a screen that was open from the inside or something. And that in doing the insurance fraud, there was emails going back and forth between the lawyer husband and the 4-degree Wendy, who, by the way, did leave teaching at Johns Hopkins to try to sell candles and have her own talk show, Wendy. Anyway, that saying, what else can we put on it to get to the maximum $423,000 insurance claim? Busted. They found that there were items that were on the insurance claim that had already been bought and returned before the alleged robbery. And then one of her wedding bands that was on the claim, she proceeded to wear in posted photos on social media.
It's insane. You know what my first reaction to the story was? What a fun job to be the investigator for the insurance company.
Yeah.
You know, when you start to suspect, like you show up to the crime scene and you're like, I'm not kind of buying this. And you have to play the long game.
Right.
And do all the research and ask questions and not let them know that you're onto them.
Yeah, you can't go right off the bat, I think you're lying.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you have to go, exactly, get them to continue so the case gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And as it gets stronger and stronger, they're getting felony after felony after felony after felony. And I mean, it looks like
16 against her, 18 against him. Okay, so do you think this is a case of a housewife that has been living a smoke and mirrors lifestyle situation, feels the pressure of maintaining this this persona, this brand, this lifestyle to be a real housewife? Or do you think it's her husband having difficulty getting investment because he's got a cannabis business, which is like, it's hard to get loans for that kind of business. So do you think it's more because of his business or lack of business, or it's because of the demands of what the show does to her, her brand, her persona?
Sadly, no. I think this is her personality. I think she's a scammer. I think if they were never on the show, they would have probably pulled this crime. I never saw her as a liar or a scammer or anything like that. She was not one of those people. Like, I didn't like Jen Shah's persona before she was.
I remember.
Like, there was something, I just did not like Jen Shah. I just thought before we ever knew what she did for a living, She's also doing time for stealing from elderly in a long scam, and for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, in case you guys are like trying to remember all the criminals. I just thought she thought a little highly of herself, but I really thought she was an accomplished, smart person, but she's obviously not smart if she thought she'd get away with this crime.
Well, clearly, but there are people that now point out that the story that Wendy told about this crisis of vacillating between academia and a career in journalism or on TV was not accurate.
What are they thinking it is?
She may not have received tenure or been offered tenure. So she really didn't have any opportunity to kind of move up in academia. So she made up this story. Because when she would go on TV to, give commentary, that's not a paid position. It didn't really go anywhere. I think she always wanted to be on TV. Just be honest.
I mean, I just think it's the same when Emily not being an attorney and all these things, just because you have it, like being, once you get a taste of this fame and the TV and stuff, you're like, well, this is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I've gotten some plastic surgery. I feel more confident in my body. My kids are getting older. Like, I could do this other stuff, which is going to be a lot less work than actually teaching full on college classes, grading papers, having to be accountable. So I never thought the fact that she left that didn't make me.
Yeah, you're like, I don't blame you. Do you really want to work that hard? Do you want to have all a syllabus and students and be held accountable? Yeah.
I am actually shocked because I did think that they were so on the up and up, that they were so both highly educated and stuff, that I was surprised to see this. But I wonder, the insurance scam thing, I just wonder how many people do it. I wonder if it's harder in certain states. I wonder if certain states are more excited to crack down on it versus
Maybe.
California. Is there a statute of limitations on this?
I wonder.
Could something from 4 years ago in LA or Encino come up? And then they're like, we just were waiting this long to, I don't know. But who knows? So it makes.
The only thing, though, I watched the premiere episode and I sort of winced when she was talking about her husband's business. And she was like,
wait, has it already?
Money. And
wait,
I was like,
wait, Potomac has already started to air?
Mm-hmm.
How many episodes have there been?
2.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Do you think they were waiting on that?
There are conspiracy theorists who do believe there is some connection. I feel like that would be too much work.
I think that sometimes that producers do have a heads up about. I saw something too that they were like, again, there's a theory that that the producers and stuff did know about the FBI that day with Jen Shaw.
They were tipped off. Yeah.
And I don't know. But
I just interviewed the executive producer of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and asked her about that moment. But in her retelling it, it seemed like there are too many moving parts.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Getting back to this, she was one of the 4 housewives among the franchises who were going to do Real Housewives swap.
And they pulled it.
Oh, they pulled her episode, and that's why the premiere is a couple weeks later?
I think so.
So she's not even going to be on it at all?
I don't think so.
How bummed if you were the normal family that got to swap with her.
That's the first thing I thought. That's the first thing I thought. It's like that person is like, I'm going to be able to tell all my friends from high school I'm going to be on TV. And then.
So I saw that she did a podcast Zoom interview, and I apologize to the guy that I don't have his name.
Oh no, she did. Yeah, she did. She did Gibson's show.
Yes, Gibson.
Yeah,
and so he's asking, because it was out in the news that she had been robbed, and she is sitting there talking to him, straight up lying and talking about it.
But did you see she looked at the floor?
Yeah, there was definitely some, if you study
cues.
lying body language, whatever, here comes the OC acting lying lie detector people. But she, he was being nice, saying like, oh my God. And, she went on like everybody, the violation, even though we weren't there and we came back and, there's been no robberies on my street. So I think it was targeted. Like she was adding extra lies.
Maybe that actually would have been a piece of the nail in the coffin.
Like, first of all, like, yeah, if I was lying about this
he deserves a journalism award for that.
But also, if I was lying about that, I would be like, hey, you know enough of these things. You can say, hey, don't ask me about my divorce or don't ask me about my son in rehab. She could have said, there's an ongoing investigation with my robbery, so just don't ask me about that. And she could have said that before. But no, she got into it and played into the sympathy.
She did.
And it's just amazing.
Ballsy.
Yeah. Wasn't, okay, and I could be wrong, okay, but allegedly wasn't one of the things that was a problem with Teresa was that, you know, once they were going through, before she was sentenced to prison, she was not going to have to go to prison. They did a bankruptcy thing and she had to say, here's all my possessions or list them or something.
I think you do have to do that.
And then
You're required
somehow
to, so.
she was caught
lying.
Yeah, not sharing everything she was supposed to
I think
about
that. Sounds
that.
Right. Yep.
And if I'm wrong, it's alleged, whatever. Something about that, like she wasn't going to do prison until she again screwed up on some other thing about her possessions. And it's like, with these possessions, like, what are you thinking? Like,
well, I think you also have to really have really good legal counsel that goes through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Or just the audacity of just thinking that you're so smart that you're going to get out of this.
Those are the same people who agree to do a reality show. You have to be diabolical, delusional, and ballsy to do it. You know,
right?
Normal people would go, my boss might think it's a little bit weird, or I don't know how I want my kids to think about this years from now. But you have to be missing that chip, that impulse that will tell you, like, this may not end well for me. I don't think they have it.
It's just like the opposite of like the insurance thing. Like, I had a ring recently that I talked about that was in this jewelry box. I switched it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I think it was thrown out. I'm pretty convinced it was thrown out.
I've had that happen to me with jewelry.
You know, this is like the opposite. Like, she was like, oh no, I have it all. And I'm going to say that it was stolen.
Yeah.
Not even like I lost it. Or it like fell down the drain. Like, she could have said, oh my God, my ring fell down the drain and it's worth $10,000 and now I need the $10,000. And then somehow, I don't know, hid it away. But what? I guess then those things get caught. They also find those things like at a pawn shop too.
Sometimes.
So you can't say it fell down the drain and then say that. I mean, it's just.
What about the fact that there was a whole scene, like it had been ransacked with like a mattress flipped over and.
In her house, you mean?
Yeah, like who was the one who did that?
That they planned, that's all out. And I was just thinking, and on top of it, they're Catholic. Remember they had the boys' first Holy Communion?
Yeah.
That was a whole scene.
Yeah.
And like, and her mom, like, what are the parents going to say? Like, and then in their.
Her mom's freaking out because her mom was freaking out that she wasn't going to be in academia. So and also Eddie's a lawyer.
And is
he going to get disbarred?
And by the way, their mugshots, like I know it's always such a weird thing. They were smiling.
Honest. I think they were high.
I didn't want to feature their mugshots, but they're smiling. You can look them up.
I think they were high.
So he is not a lawyer anymore. He has a cannabis business.
Yes, but he still, went to law school. So you would think.
I wonder if they'll represent themselves.
It's
Hopefully they won't be dumb enough to do that.
Send that in an email. Like, what lawyer would? Huh? There's so many moving parts to the story.
Emailing your wife, like, why wouldn't you say that at night? Like, wait, where are we on this thing? Can we throw like 10 more bags on there?
Or if you're committing a crime, like in the dark with a flashlight under your chin, like you're gonna like email. What?
I mean, and then so they're not currently filming the show, right? Or are they?
No,
is this one of the
they picked up cameras. And wouldn't you? I would call headquarters and go.
That should be a shirt. They picked up cameras. Juicy scoop. I'm going to make that a shirt. I heard they just picked up cameras.
Yes.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, I definitely think they're both going to do time, which is really sad because, they have the kids. So they're probably going to try to have to do something like the jujitsus where it's
Here's what they need to do.
Yeah.
Just cop to it.
I think that's a little too late.
just go, Eddie has this business. We're facing some massive debt. It's been a lot more stressful. Like pull a Whitney Rose from Salt Lake City. It was like,
and then just say,
we made a big mistake. Now we're suffering, but we're going to get back up. Just cop to it.
Yeah, I guess you have to
You're
cop to it.
You're on a reality show. That's your career for the rest of your life.
Okay, this is what they should do.
Lean into it.
She should say that's what it is. That she got sucked into this fake world of being rich. And she felt, and then they were in debt because they really don't get paid that much from Bravo. And it was wrong for her to also include a ring that is so close to her heart because it is her wedding band.
Yeah.
And they still love each other. They're still a family. They don't want to be taken away from their kids, from each other.
Talk about that.
And that's why I still wore the ring.
Yeah.
Well, what about returning things right before and claiming that they were stolen? Well, again, I needed the money.
Yeah.
To keep up the image of being a real housewife. But the thing about it is,
I wouldn't just talk about that. I would talk about the pressure of your husband trying to build a business. And I would say lean into, it's really hard to grow a cannabis business. I think it's really hard for them, like I said, to get loans.
I know, but that's not like a sympathy thing.
No, but you could say the reality of your partner leaving the law practice to start a business, and I'm on TV and raising kids.
That's
the only thing you could do to
okay.
possibly get people to understand.
Okay, if you're their defense attorney, I'm trying to get their business too. I'm going to say, let's not talk about the cannabis business. I don't think that's going to win over a jury. But I also would say, you really weren't surrounded by like that wealthy of people. Your castmate's already in prison for a DUI for her fourth, which is Karen Huger. Giselle is that house that was made by Legos is not. I don't think is not a fancy house.
I don't think the Osefos live. I think they live pretty far out away from Baltimore.
But I'm saying it's not like she can really do the excuse of I had to keep up with the Joneses of my cast, because that cast is not a wealthy cast. I don't think
it's about that. It's about being on television.
Right. That's what we have to just go with the television. Go with the television.
Okay. I think she says, I started to believe that if I didn't increase my lifestyle, that it wouldn't provide me additional opportunities in reality TV.
Great.
To be on Traders, to be on, this spinoff shows I wanted to pitch. I felt like if I didn't have a bigger and more abundant lifestyle, that I would be overlooked for opportunities.
This guy said that I guess his name is Rob Smith, I think, but he is a also commentator of things.
Okay.
But I think he's more on the conservative side.
I watched that one.
So he might not like her because of her liberal views.
I think that was a dig because they had been together on TV.
But he had said that she was very rude and full of herself and blah, 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 blah. But you're also going bat to bat. But that's just kind of interesting that I
think they had been on several different
He didn't appreciate her when they were
shows
talking
before.
Heads together. So we'll see what happens with that. And to the person that's wife swapped with her.
You know what? I got to be honest.
What?
More people are going to watch Real Housewives of Potomac this season.
Because
they're going to be looking through each episode like the Zapruder film to see if there are other inaccuracies.
I mean, there is no way that the people at Bravo are never not happy, providing that someone is not dead when someone gets arrested.
Yeah, probably.
Provided that no physical harm has happened to anybody, they've got to be thrilled every single time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching all season.
I just think they get the news and they go, wow, and then they shut the door and do a dance.
They're like, yes, yeah,
yes.
It's like you and me when we call each other like, oh my God, what is going on?
Oh my God. But it's, the audacity of the thing is crazy. I know it's been a couple years now, and thank goodness more and more people are talking about how great GLP-1s has worked for them to get healthy, to feel better, for weight loss. And then the next question is, but wait a minute, do I have to pay out of pocket? Does my insurance cover some of it, all of it? How do I know? And that is so great about RHO, because RHO's insurance checker lets you know if you're covered for GLP-1s for free. So if you want to see if you're covered, just submit your insurance card and RHO will take care of the rest. There's no paperwork, no hassle, no waiting on hold. Anyway, RHO's free insurance checker will send you a comprehensive report of your coverage details so you can make a decision that's right for your goals. Go to ro.co/juicy scoop for your free insurance check. That's ro.co/juicy scoop to see if your insurance covers GLP-1s for free. Go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. Okay, now we're going to talk about one of the greatest reunions that are happening right now is Real Housewives of Miami.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to watch all season.
Mm-hmm.
No, you may not even have to watch the reunion, but you're going to enjoy this conversation because it's crazy.
And let me say, I love this show so much.
I like it.
I've interviewed the executive producer. I always tell him it's my favorite of all the franchises. I love that show more than any other Real Housewife.
I think they are all so funny, truly colorful.
Uh-huh.
It's like they all so multi cultural from different countries, speak multiple languages.
They're all
Backdrop
family of
is
immigrants,
gorgeous.
by the way.
Yes,
All of them.
Oh, yeah, all gorgeous outfits. I like their looks. All of it.
All authentically, unapologetically, authentically themselves.
So here we go. Adriana says that she brought Julia, who's married to Martina, onto the show.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would have found you with your goats in that place, Julia. Nobody. And I brought you here to be on this show. Okay, I did it for you. And Julia, who's Russian, says, and I may not have her accent down, says, what you don't know, Andy, which could be some clarity on why Adriana and I are no longer close, is back in the Hamptons, we slept together. They slept together.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like 4 years ago. And she claims that Adriana held it over her like a carrot, or held it over her head.
Dangled it.
Like, I'm going to tell
it.
I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to ruin your marriage. And Martina is this famous tennis player. They've been together a while, married, now adopted these two boys just recently who are like 3 and 1 that are brothers. And she tells it. So that we knew that last week. Then this week, Adriana comes back and she goes, you're a married woman. What does it matter what I did with you? You are a cheater. You slept with a Haitian mortician. And they're like, what? And you had to give him a coffee machine as a thank you gift. What? He brought the champagne and you banged him. You got the hotel room. You told me about it. And then you and your Haitian mortician. And they're like, what? Was this like, what kind of coffee machine? Andy's like, wait, did it have a cream foamer? Like, what are we talking about? And she's like, so then they leave and he's like, who was the Haitian mortician? And people were like, in the comments, was the Haitian mortician a woman or a man? Like,
yeah.
And she's like, affair, hardly. Meaning, yeah, I fucked this guy. I fucked this guy.
Yeah, like probably one time.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah.
I had a free coffee machine. Yeah,
but I don't think.
And then she goes, and you slept with a cop.
No one cared because they're like, that tracks.
But also,
it wasn't a shock.
But also, it's also to me so humiliating to Martina. Martina,
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Let's think about Martina before she entered our world as the most unhappy, humorless spouse of any housewife in the history of the housewives. Like, you're just like, why are you agreeing when you had this, like, really great reputation as this incredible tennis player your whole life, and now you and this wife who needs to be on TV. Not only did you, I just thought, I have to keep this sexy wife happy so she can be on The Housewives. Fine. She used to be a model. She wants to be in front of TV. Fine. With this, I'm like, it's so embarrassing because even if you did have an open marriage, it's just gross that you're like sleeping with some cop possibly and a mortician at hotel rooms. And then they went back. And do you remember when Larsa was like, I saw you making out with a black guy or something. And she's like,
Kind
I kiss
of.
lots of people.
I
What
guess
does it
that's what
matter?
I'm saying. It like
so
it
she's a
tracks.
serial cheater, or
But they
they're
call her
open.
a nymph.
She's an imp. She's an imp. She's
Yeah.
whatever.
I
And
don't think
then-
it really affects Martina because how many people in her tennis world are keeping up with every episode of Real Housewives
the
of Miami?
rumors are that she is, but I don't know that it's true, that she's very unhappy and that there was a time she was looking at a divorce attorney.
Well,
But
now you have
also-
2 new kids. Sorry.
Also, Julia says that in the show. She's like, we're going through a hard time. And she
I
says,
thought
if I
she was pretty transparent.
like,
Our relationship's really difficult.
and
all the
usually,
time.
and you know, when you're having a really hard time in your marriage, the best thing that you can do is adopt 2 children
I know.
and
I
put
know.
them on reality TV.
I know.
That's always, every marriage counselor will tell you
Absolutely.
that if there is
Yes.
cheating on a reality show between you and your spouse,
Yeah.
this will definitely bring you guys together. And especially if your spouse has never been a mother and is 68 years old. There's nothing that woman would rather do than chase after a 1.5-year-old and 3-year-old.
I
That
actually
is really
thought-
going to help make
I actually
them
thought the
close.
big secret may have been that Adriana was going to say, I know the real reason her daughters are not speaking to her about the kids. And I thought, now that would be much more painful.
Which is what they don't want to
I don't know
share
what
an
it
inheritance.
is, but because I was like, that's what we want to know. But the cheating, I was kind of like, yeah. So what day is it of the week? Like, okay, that's not that surprising.
I mean, the daughters are going to come around, but I mean, probably the daughters are just like, Mom, you've had like she's
One
she's
daughter
another.
was like, you don't even know what the name of the school I went to.
Yeah, she doesn't know what school her daughter went to, never visited, whatever. She had, many men and husbands and fiance, whatever it was, before she met Martina. And then Adriana says, wait, I just want to get, okay, so we'll go through this. Here we see them in their colorful outfits, hearing about everything. And so then she says, she keeps saying everything to Andy of what's going on. And they all just did look so beautiful. And this was my favorite part, is that Adriana.
Oh my God. You need to talk to her about comedy.
About comedy?
She's always like 3 beats behind and she has
Yes.
props.
Well, listen, I can relate to this wardrobe situation
Yes.
where she put her dress on and was like, I want to get my favorite corset underneath to snatch my waist while I sit on this couch. However, it's not low enough.
Right.
But no one's going to see it.
Right.
Except when you keep getting up and standing
present
and
a
pointing and
stupid
everything.
gift and prop.
So you have
Yep.
the mic and all this stuff. And that's when she walks over and she goes, she says, Julia, whatever your name is. She changed her name, Andy,
Oh,
from
so
Julia
stupid.
to Julia, from Julia to Julia. He's
But
like,
Andy's
what?
like, what?
And she goes, here you go. You took my heart, so now you can have it in a box. And they're like, what the fuck is this? What in the
She's-
Jeffrey Dahmer is this like fake crafty heart that's in a wooden box? And I'm like, okay, well then maybe now I'm thinking you guys were full on lovers. Like now I do think you're in love with
Yeah.
her, because then she also goes back to this night that they're in the Miami rain and she's like, Julia, you taught me what love is. It's
Yeah.
genderless. It's this, it's that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't make sense that you were so weird and so hurt. You're supposed to be my best friend. When I'm
Yeah.
like, Alexia and the other girl that she's mad that Julia's hanging out with, Maricel, to me, they've never done anything bad to Adriana. It's like Adriana's like fighting a bunch of people that are like, I'm not even mad at you. Like, who cares?
Right.
Like there was no like big thing. And anyway, I found her very
My favorite part was
Entertaining, though.
when Andy is standing with Alexia, Julia, like backstage after they take a break.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to ask Julia, like, well, what all did you do with her?
Sexually.
Like,
was the best.
Like, break it down. And then Kiki, who is so absolutely hilarious, walks in and is like, oh, I'll tell you, I watch a lot of the porn.
Yeah.
And there's so many funny moments.
There's so many
Especially
funny
when
moments.
you juxtaposition that with like OC, which is unbearably not funny.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then Larsa and Stephanie are talking about that they're like, well, we can't top the Haitian Mortician.
Can't do it.
Like she's just like, what are we gonna do about that? Like, I don't know. And they're just like laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows what I do love about Stephanie, who's the new girl, is she's like, I'm good with everybody. I truly like love all these women. I didn't have a lot of friendsps before.
I know. I like that part. I feel like she made new friends.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, Alexia and I, we all like each other. So, we still have one more episode to do things. I feel like, Larsa and Lisa, they're going to be fine. Everyone's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But where do you go when there was a lesbian rendezvous among cast members that aren't happy are still mad at each other?
They'll show up to filming. They will.
I mean, I think you got to keep them all, right?
Of course.
We don't want anyone to go.
I don't want anyone to go.
But then, okay, so someone put this in my group anonymously when Adriana said, Andy, there is a spy among us. I did not realize this is her beauty photo. This is when Julia, I'm guessing this is not a doctored photo, but because this was an anonymous
First of
thing.
all, among is spelled wrong. So I'm
so
taking it back
wrote
about
this,
that.
but she was Miss
USSR? Wow.
Yes.
So she's saying that she's like a
Russian spy.
Russian spy. Okay.
In a beauty contest.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I think this is real. Anyway,
I think we've got a long list of spies that we're all looking at right now. I think Julia is probably the lowest on the list.
Yeah, I don't think we're worried about it really. But a spy within the in the Miami Real Housewives.
She's so stealth. She chooses Martina Navratilova.
Yeah, and then no, there's nothing deceptive about Julia. I do think she's a slutty opportunist.
Yeah, she's like
that's all. That's all.
Just trying to survive.
So this came out today. Katie Rost, who has had a colorful past. She was on Real Housewives of Potomac with Dr. Wendy. And she posted this today. Ashley and I love each other. There is no beef, but she has no couth. I got to throw a flag. My magical vagina that she told details about. She told Andy Cohen, I have a hamster pussy on national TV. She ate it, so I guess she would know. She is just a hater.
But
she's just a hater. We love you, Wendy.
Why is there a photo of Ashley with her mother below? That's what she chose to comment on.
It's really weird because I guess Ashley somehow was kind of laughing about the Potomac arrest of Dr. Wendy. So then Katie comes out of the woodwork to defend.
Well, I saw Katie defending Wendy first.
And
so maybe that was just like her loyalty coming out.
But also
I'm like, okay.
A hamster. When did someone, and what an awful description.
I mean,
a hamster pussy.
You lost me. I'm like,
that sounds awful.
Yes.
And then she said she ate it, so I guess she would know. She is just a hater. Okay, well, also, Ashley has said in an interview recently, I'm dating both men and women. She's been openly bisexual this entire time. And now so is Real Housewife of Atlanta. Portia says, I'm dating both men and women.
Again, I don't think with this kind of stuff, people are like, okay.
I mean, I feel like in 2 years, someone's going to be like, and then you ate me out. We're going to be like, what? Remember how it was really kind of juicy when with the Vanderpump girls, when they were doing that sometimes with Lala.
That was so many years ago.
Lala and Ariana. And then also Kristen Doty.
I think the only people that really cared about that were the guys that watch Vanderpump Rules. Because I just think women are kind of like,
but to me, I don't know. I've never in my friend group known somebody that's married to men and go down on each other.
Yeah.
So if it happened in my real life, I would be like, hit me over with a feather. I would be so shocked. But now I was like, when it was happening
it's so much on TV that you're just sort of like,
I mean, when it was happening with the Vanderpump girls, I was like, well, I think, with younger people, this is more common when you're getting high and drunk and I don't know, just happens. happens like it's like a Vegas thing. I don't know what it is, but like now
I
I'm
think
like,
that is just like someone just trying to
good for them.
retaliate.
Okay, now new report on this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Amy Bradley, that is one of the biggest docs that happened this year. This is the young girl that went missing over 25 years ago off of a Carnival cruise ship, which she shared a room with her parents and her college-age brother. She had just graduated from college, and they've been looking for her for years. And you interviewed the producers of this doc.
Yeah.
And you definitely think she's alive.
I do think she was alive. Or
I do
think
not.
she lived for a long time. Now, we should preface this is that
Okay.
we have a long history of disagreeing about true crime cases.
Okay.
And rather than being angry about it,
No.
I think it's absolutely hilarious.
Listen, you can have different views and actually still be friends.
Like, it
You can agree to
makes
disagree.
me laugh so hard. So when you were like, no, she wasn't trafficked. She jumped off the boat. I couldn't stop
Or
laughing.
accidentally fell.
I was like, of course. Of course. So
And I, you know what? I hope that she's alive or comes out of the woodwork, and she just happened to never have a Netflix subscription this whole time, or seen the numerous reports about her, or seen the posters, or whatever. And because she's so embarrassed that she was trafficked and doesn't want her family to know that, even though they were not happy that she was in a lesbian relationship, that it would have been worse if she was sleeping with men as a trafficked. I just don't believe the whole thing. I just don't.
okay.
And
I absolutely believe that she was taken.
Okay.
And I've been following this case for decades. And I've believed from the very beginning that she was taken off that ship.
Okay.
So there has been new information that's come forward that I wanted to make sure
Yes.
that you noted. Okay, number one, IP address hits on that website. They found a boat off the coast of the western part of Barbados that they have been looking into. They have been
What do you mean? Wait, someone's living on a boat?
Yes. And the pinging of the IP address for the Amy Bradley is Missing website, it's suspect. And that happens to be in an area that has high drug and sex trafficking.
Okay.
Okay, number two. During the documentary, there was discussion. I don't know if I don't think it made it to the documentary because they couldn't track this woman down. But there was a bartender, a female bartender, who didn't speak English that well, who had said Senorita kidnapped that morning after she disappeared. That woman has now come forward. The man that was doing the video of the nightclub where she was dancing in the documentary says, I was told to get rid of that video. He has now named who that person was. And
that told him?
And that person is in the documentary. He was like head of the boat. A fourth thing is they have now reason to believe that there is a child. Amy does have a child. So, I mean, she would have to have been taken off the boat to have had a child, correct?
So what do you think happened?
I think she probably had been talking to someone about doing some sort of drug. It could have been as simple as marijuana. And I think she went to her room. I think she had a second wind. She went out, she met somebody, and somehow got off the boat, either on her own accord or with somebody pushing her. And then she's off the boat and then immediately realizes, I don't know how to I'm in a bad situation. And I think that when women are trafficked, they are given a prodigious amount of drugs. They are raped, they are tortured, and they're not only coping with trying to get off the drugs, but they don't know how to get home. They don't know how to get help. And there's also the psychological torture of the person that has taken them. And if you had a baby with someone that raped you, then you would also feel a sense of need to stay there. And I do think there's an incredible amount of shame that comes with victims. And unless we've been through that experience, we really wouldn't be able to understand it. There are enough people that have had thrown up red flags in this case that I think there's enough reason to pursue it. And the fact that the FBI has put a new special agent, I mean, they've been to Capitol Hill since this has come out. So I think it all is pointing to there's enough information to lead us to believe that she lived past the day that she disappeared.
Okay. Very good. I disagree. I don't think that you are a target for trafficking when you are sharing a bedroom with your parents and your brother on a ship and you have a sensible haircut and you wear Birkenstocks.
I don't think they like look at certain haircuts and clothes and they're like, you got the look that we're looking for.
I'm just saying, I don't think, and I think if this was a thing of happening of people being trafficked and getting off the boat, there would be, along with her missing, are these 8, 10 other women.
I'm sure that
during
has
that
happened.
time. Well,
there was
those people didn't. All those people didn't look for their
there was
relatives?
a girl that has come forward and said that just after Amy disappeared, that same man, Yellow, had been trying to get her to get off the boat too, and she has pictures with him on the boat. And that girl was only 13 at the time. So I do think it was happening, but I don't think a lot of people have.
Do you think there's any chance
strength to come forward?
Do you think there's any chance that the pinging that's coming is her? However, she is in an okay place.
It's possible.
But is sitting back. Is it ever possible that someone is okay and sees their family or their loved ones or their husband or their mother begging for them to call and they just are like, this is fun. I fucking hate you. And you can worry about me for the rest of my life.
Because I do think I've covered a lot of true crime docs where there are people that kind of disappear and it's on purpose.
Besides like a Sherry Papini.
So is it possible?
Like, can someone really be sitting back for years and years and be like, I just like to go on that website as my, to see what it is, just to see, if they're still looking for me or whatever.
It's possible. I just don't think in this case.
I think this case is a money-making case as far as entertainment value. I think there's certain true crime cases that you go into a network and you say, there's a new wrinkle on the John Bonet, and it's an angle that the guy that, whatever, you just come up with one tiny new wrinkle. And we have another person that's going to be interviewed. And they're like, yeah, we know. Just like someone that does an article about Taylor Swift knows, as long as we say Taylor Swift got a new bra, whatever, that the clickbait is going to go there. That's all you need. And that is why there's so many docs about OJ, so many docs about John Bonet.
But there weren't really that many about Amy Bradley, actually.
Yes, there were. Trust me. Datelines, 2020s, and there was
not that many. Trust me, when they announced it, I was excited because I thought, thankfully, they're finally going to put the muscle into it. I'm hopeful. I really am.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, going back.
Apartment 603, What Happened to Ellen Greenberg on Hulu.
Well, I started to watch it.
Okay.
And this girl, she's a teacher. She's not loving her job as a teacher, but she says the fiance is in their nice apartment in Brooklyn or wherever it was. Was it Brooklyn? Where was it?
No, it was in Manayunk, outside of Philadelphia.
Philly, yeah.
Yeah.
He's at the gym inside the apartment complex. He comes back up and this latch is on the door and he can't get in.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to get in. He's annoyed. He gets in and she's in the kitchen and he says, oh my God, she stabbed herself. And so it's like, did he kill her? Was this suicide? This doesn't make sense. No one stabs themselves. Suicide. We never found out what happened.
Well, yeah, the problem is that the police, they came up with their initial report and then they switched it to suicide. So the whole story is sort of like how perplexing. Why did they switch it? And what I think the really big question is their political influence, because the family of the fiance was close friends with the governor. And did that have some sort of influence? But
how would he? Okay, So if he was responsible for her death, how did he get the latch of the door to shut after he killed her?
Because in the documentary, the building manager says that there is this thing in that building with doors that if you walk out the door and like slam it from behind, that the doors sometimes latch back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
so I think if you want to watch it, it's an important story because I think it sheds a light on political influence in true crime cases.
Okay. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we
were fired up about this one.
We have this mother
Mm-hmm.
who, this is from Bravo Celebrities. The way Bronwyn's mom spoke to her, it actually hurt to watch.
Yeah.
So Bronwyn is a newer cast member. She's married to an older guy. She has one daughter who's 18, and that daughter she gave birth to while she was at BYU and not married, which is a big deal in the Mormon culture.
Mm-hmm.
But this wasn't like 1926. This was 18 years ago. And the mother is now living with her while her father, who has Alzheimer's, is in a home. The mother, I mean, I hope she doesn't live with her forever. It seems like she's going to live with her forever.
Kind of.
And now here's what I want to say about this scene because it's so disturbing.
Yeah.
To anybody that watched it, she comes off as a complete and total bitch, the mother. She's still saying one moment the Bronwyn's like, I guess her sister was pregnant at the same time, but the sister was married. And they were at a baby store to buy something for her sister who was pregnant. And the woman at the store goes, oh, and she's going to be buying you some stuff for your baby too. And she's like, no, just for my sister, which was weird because, I mean, she's keeping the child. And then she's like, well, Bronwyn, you don't know how hard it was for me when all of a sudden you just wanted to use me as a daycare. And I'm like, it was bizarre that she wasn't at this time. Like, I know it was hard for us. It wasn't what I saw for you. It was embarrassing since we were big in the church. But of course, Gwen is the greatest blessing ever. There was no moment of that.
Yeah.
However, could it be that there were those moments and it was edited out?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but there is a chance.
Mm-hmm.
There is a chance that at one moment the mom's like, now the mom's not on TV star. She's not a reality star. She's told, okay, we're going to film.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm faced with this uncomfortable stuff. And I'm just playing devil's advocate just because everybody like wants to put this woman at the stake as the worst mother on earth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just saying this is an edited show. And maybe she really is that awful, but maybe she really like was a really good grandmother to Gwen, but is like looking back and is like, well, you're asking me these questions. And yeah, it was like, I wasn't ready to like have to take care of your child all day. Like I don't know. It was an awful, awful, awful scene. But I just thought to myself, I mean, these shows, you know, the wife agrees to do it. Her husband is always portrayed horribly, which is why Todd is suing Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes you put your kids in a bad position where they're misbehaved and we watch it for the next 15 years and remember that this kid was a little shit at 15. And then now you put like an elderly person on, whether it's Sutton's mom or her or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they come off really horribly. But they are probably horrible, but still.
Yeah, but I kind of loved it because you could tell, I kind of look at these situations as like playing the long game.
Yeah.
Where Bronwyn probably felt like she had the most power that she's ever had in her life, having a camera there in the home.
Yeah.
Where this woman is now living.
Yeah.
Her daughter is now 18. She's probably feels the most centered that she's ever felt. And she let her display her ignorance and her cruelty. And she has no one that can save her because it's out there. And no one's going to hide for her anymore. Her husband, her other kids, like you've been a horrible person to your daughter. And now you have to make up for it.
I mean, but that is why I think women go on Real Housewives shows.
I think so.
Most times it's, I'm going to show the world what an asshole my husband is. One or two things is going to happen. He's going to watch it and beg for mercy, or we're going to get divorced and still everyone will know what an asshole he is.
Yeah.
So now she did the exact same thing with her mom. Okay, fine. Then get her the fuck out of your house. Like, I just felt, for me, watching Bronwyn, I'm like, I just wanted Bronwyn to, like, if I felt for her. I was like, oh my God, now you have your daughter and her boyfriend living there. You have angry Todd who doesn't enjoy the cameras there. And this mean mother.
That's why her daughter lives with her. She needs a buffer.
Right. But I mean,
she doesn't have the
Bronwyn,
strength to her mother. But I think people watch that and they were jarred by it because they may have that same kind of relationship where you have this emotional tethering to your parents still.
If in a year or two, Bronwyn is just going to be living the single life completely. Like, I'm done with my parents. I'm done with my kid. Not done, but like she's gone on her own.
Yeah.
I don't have to, my parents are in a place where I don't have to be with them every day. And if she's still in love with Todd, great, but maybe that won't last forever. And like, oh my God, like, but now she's got a case that we're going to see about that came up about her. She had some fraud case come up, Bronwyn.
But that's why I like the origin stories, like meeting the parents, because now that I've met the weird mom, if there are things in her past, legal issues, at least I have more context. Like, she was desperate. She doesn't have the financial and emotional support of her parents during the most vulnerable, precious time of a transformational point of a woman's life. And then if that gives her an open door to go, I made some really poor decisions. And here's why, because this is what happened to me. You know, if I hadn't met the mom, I don't know if I would have seen it as much.
I have another thought about this now that just popped in my mind. I think this is all kind of really awful for Gwen. It really is. Last season, it was all about how the father who died young of a car accident, that his parents never wanted anything to do with her. And now she's giving full proof again for her daughter to see that her own parents weren't happy about her pregnancy. And like, normally, even a mother-daughter who hate each other, it's like, the baby comes and that grandmother is overly involved or wants, and sometimes the mom is like, oh my God, grandma, you're not going to get custody of my kid. Leave me alone. This is just, no wonder the girl has a boyfriend who she's living with at 18. No one should be living with their boyfriend at 18. But what?
Yeah. I know, but
it's all
I'm so grateful.
Effed up. I mean, it's
I'm
very
so
interesting to
watch it because it opens all these conversations for all of us. What was your relationship with your parents like? And then how did it challenge you in certain life circumstances? And do you still talk to your parents? And if you don't, why? And that's why I love these shows so much. Because this conversation and situation may not appear in movies because they're like, no, movies are made for 20-year-olds or 55-year-old men.
No, I mean, this is why it was juicy. It was super juicy, sad, disturbing, awful.
It's good that Gwen's not really on the show, though.
Yeah, I'm sure she doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
Okay, Real Housewives of OC. Emily is doing the Innocence Project, which is a really great cause. And we're going to have some espresso martinis with Shane. And we're going to have a Western-themed party. And here they have these men with their shirts off celebrating the fact that this guy was just in prison with men for 30 years.
Little tone deaf.
It's a little tone. Yeah. They just got out of prison and it's he just got out of prison, but to make hey guys, take a photo with these hot guys.
Let's do some line dancing.
Yeah, let's do some line dancing. And then
there are all these parties too on reality TV. It's you get a personalized cowboy hat. It's they always remember the axe throwing. Yeah. It's always a group. They hang on to it. Yeah.
So they make some money at the event. Then I have a photo of this guy, and I'm just like,
what is that going on?
This guy's outfit, he was line dancing, and I saw this, and I was like, okay, which of the housewives did he slide into their DMs to get invited to this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And now he's
by the way,
friends.
All of those guys are best friends with the housewives.
Yeah. And then, you can come to the Innocence Project, and he's dancing around. And then, of course, Shannon's doing her shtick, trying to dance. And, I like to dance. Okay. How long are we going to get? Is anyone going to get tired of the comedic shtick of Shannon? I mean, when you watch an old episode of it,
Yeah.
back when she was
let's
married
go
to
back in time.
David,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
there was none of this like weird goofiness. Like it is
Yeah,
like
you're right.
it's the same way when
like I
sometimes
said, we were just like, wait, why do you have all those lemons in a bowl and you have stuff in your ceiling and you go to this weird doctor named Dr. Moon? That was kind of what filled that space, but now she can be performative for sure.
Yeah, and like it's kind of like where people would go back and show clips of Brittany of Vanderpump and Valley, which I mean I like her a lot, but like her accent wasn't that strong. Now maybe in the beginning she was hiding the accent because she was embarrassed by it, or maybe it's because she's been so close to her mom that she's like picked it up again. But it is kind of funny where it's like, because I remember she would start to say people's, last names, Shannon Bedore, and then, I'm assuming they were like, hey, make sure that's funny that you always say someone's last name. Maybe. And she says it about herself and, does her whole thing. But, here she's trying to dance, and trying to do her dancing.
Can I just tell you, I was at a restaurant about 4 weeks ago and her dad came in, Shannon's dad.
Yeah.
Gene. And he walks in with a friend and they sat behind me.
Yeah.
And they called Shannon on speaker in a very busy restaurant. And I heard the whole conversation.
Yeah, but that's
it made me realize, like, she's so much like her dad.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that. So those scenes are pretty funny. But he was like, needed her for everything. I wish they showed that part of her life.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh, you're so pathetic. Not pathetic, but like, aren't you sad? Your kids are gone. But having been witness to that, I'm like, I think she has to help with her dad a lot. His friend had the phone up like this, raised at the table. And they were like, Shannon, how do you do this? How do you do that? And she's like, what? I can't hear you. You're at a restaurant. And I just was like, I'm inside of an episode. So I think she's actually
totally
maybe turning into her dad.
Yeah. And also older people do prefer speakerphone because it is harder to hear than if you put it up to your ear. But anyway, so it, was fun. Tamara and Gretchen, don't have their face-to-face. It's going to continue. They're going to Amsterdam next week. And
that's going to be the big episode that everyone's talking about, right?
Yeah.
The finale.
And they go to like a Color Me Mine for dildos. That's going to be make your own dildo.
Wow.
So that'll be fun. And so
whose idea was that?
To go to Amsterdam?
No, the idea for the Color Me Mine dildo place. Like, whose idea was that?
I don't know if it's Color Me Mine dildo. I think it's like make your own dildo or whatever. It's just,
Okay.
It's a pretty good thing to do on a TV show, okay? Now, oh my gosh, worst divorce ever.
I know.
Denise Richards divorcing Aaron Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Pfeiffer.
She should never have married him based on that last name alone. What a nightmare. Began with that.
He had the audacity to say that, he's denying all physical abuse.
Of course.
And he just says that she bruises easily.
Okay. She's got an iron deficiency. Okay, Aaron. He's the worst.
He's the worst.
And you go back in time and all those women hated him. And
they
you can tell.
Right.
I feel bad looking back too, because what do you do when you know someone is in a bad relationship and you're like, there's nothing I can do. It has to be their choice to leave.
Yeah.
And she would just freak out on you if you said anything bad about him. But like he displayed crazy signs from the very beginning. And the fact that his family was living in that house all the time, her house, talk about grifters.
Yeah.
What a bunch of grifters.
He's the worst. Oh, just a reminder, everybody, I'll be at the MGM Grand on November 14th. So get your tickets at heathermcdonald.net. You can also join my Patreon there. Okay, a little update with the Blake Lively situation.
Don't you feel like this case has gone on for
it's
19
gone on
years?
Forever, and it's another one of those things that I think people are like lost interest in, kind of.
Yeah.
Like our audiences. And but anyway, Blake Lively's proposed It Ends With Us contract reveals 6-figure bonus plan if she had won an Oscar for her role.
That's presumptuous to believe you're going to get an Oscar nomination.
But also, I don't think that's that crazy or that weird. I don't know if I think it's juicy.
Yeah.
I don't think it means anything. If in doing the contract, whether she asked for it or not, maybe she's someone like, yeah, I'm going to do all I can to get eyes on this, and I'm going to do the best job I can, and that's a goal setting for me. I don't know.
I just think it would have been highly unlikely that movie would have ever been nominated for any kind of award. I don't know. If it was Jessica Chastain, I'd go, yeah, you deserve the extra $600,000. But Blake Lively?
Yeah, but but when you start being this actress, you're always thinking of what is that role? I mean, people would look for a role.
I know.
But
there's a difference between the Blake Lively's and the Jessica Chastains. So then I'm like looking at the people that encircle you who make you believe that you have a chance at an Oscar.
Well, then what a great deal then. You don't have any chance of an Oscar. Okay, so you're going to get $1 million more if you get an Oscar.
No, I'm great. I think the team who's writing up the contract is like, okay.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of a great win-win. Like, it's no money off our back if you don't get it. And if you get it, more people will then be inclined to watch it.
Well, sure, if it happens.
And you have to win. It wasn't just to be nominated. Like, you'd actually have to have won it. Like,
I know.
that is
I just
so
feel
hard.
like that's like me saying I'm going to win the Olympic roller skating challenge.
Right.
Come on.
I just thought it was kind of interesting thing because I'm like, I know I've been in like a room with a couple people throughout my life, different times, where they're trying to get the rights to a role.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this will be my Oscar nom. If I play this real life person,
yeah,
like if I'm ever going to get one, I think I could embody that person and get to that place, even though I maybe am a comedic actor or whatever. You know, I mean, there is that thing when you get to a certain place in your career where you're like, what are the things that I could get that could ever get me in like the nomination?
Yeah.
I mean, people are saying like Jennifer Lopez, this Kiss of the Spider Woman.
Yeah.
This might be the thing. It wasn't The Hustler, which I was always like.
But do you think that the entertainment lawyers go out for drinks and then they sort of swap stories and they're like, let me tell you what my client was thinking? I mean, that would be a conversation I'd like to overhear.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that they write into the contract where you're like.
Instead of Shannon Bedore's dad asking how to.
like this. He was like, Shannon.
Yeah.
It was
Archie, I'm trying to talk to your grandpa. No, oh my God. Interesting. Would you ever want to climb Mount Everest?
No.
Have you heard about all the Mount Everest talk that's been happening lately?
I feel like I see videos of people and they're like shaking and losing their minds. I'm like, why do this?
So there's like this whole like trend going on where all of a sudden people are really talking about Mount Everest, showing videos and whatever, because they feel that in this last one where people were stuck up there, though they all did get home okay, people really started to analyze like what a selfish thing this is to try to climb to the top of Mount Everest. Not only is it super expensive, it's expensive because you have these people
that have to go and make sure you're
how
okay.
do you pronounce the Sherpas?
Sherpas
that help you do it. And this is their livelihood. This is like what they do. Yet they're risking their lives also to get you on and off the mountain. And there's video of like where people would be like climbing a mountain and you just see someone like fall off of it, but you can't go and save them. Otherwise you're going to die. Like it was just
nightmare.
Nothing I'd ever want to do. And, yeah, I just thought it is a crazy thing. And I don't know. And then someone also said, if you could climb Mount Everest and and it's something you want to do but you can never tell anybody that you climbed Mount Everest.
They would never do it.
And you could never take a photo and you could never.
Forget it. No one would do it.
I will never understand.
I think we live in a time where people are like, how do I go viral? Like, how do I look better than my friends on social media? I'm going to go to climb Mount Everest. And then I'm going to do a whole video series about my whole experience. I think it's like outdoing one after another. It's absurd. Next, it's going to be like people on like skyscrapers, like doing the tightrope. It's like people have lost their minds.
Yeah, people have all done that and people are dying. I wonder if there'll be a way soon that you can fake climbing Mount Everest, not through AI, but you know how like sometimes people would do that with like running a marathon?
Yes.
Where all of a
get
sudden they would
dropped
just
off.
join. Yeah, they just join the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder if you could just like do that somehow, like, okay, we're going to drop you off over here. And then you're just going to be like, oh, hey. And then you join. You're like, then you go around the corner and your helicopter like picks you up or whatever.
Take the picture at the peak. Yeah. Probably.
All these kind of things. Just I'm like,
can you imagine the obituary of the person that did the tightrope and that's how they died? And then the person who had to write it, like, this idiot wanted so badly to make it past 100,000 followers that they came up with this cockamamie plan. They didn't know what they were doing.
This is what happens when you act like you like hiking with a guy. And the next thing you know, 10 years later, you're like,
I'm stuck
how do I
here.
get out of this thing?
Yeah.
Like, don't lie about wanting to go hike, extreme hikes. Don't say you like camping if you don't.
Don't say you want to go snorkeling if you get panic attacks. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Just be authentically yourself. I want to just stay home and watch Netflix.
Yes.
It is better. It's a better long game plan to just be upfront about all the things you don't want to do.
Okay, tell me what are we supposed to be watching this week?
Okay. If you like basketball, watch Starting Five on Netflix. That follows 5 NBA players, and they're all really likable. And you don't even have to love basketball to watch it. If you like football, watch 2 of them. Saquon on Amazon Prime, about Saquon Barkley, who plays for the Eagles. God bless. Thank you. And there's also The Many Lives of Lane Kiffin. Do you remember when he was a coach at USC?
No.
It was during the Reggie Bush era.
Okay.
He's now at Ole Miss, and ESPN made a doc about him, and he's sober now. So it's kind of an interesting life story. Okay. True Crime, The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix later this week. And then Love is Blind. The episodes are absolutely bonkers. They're not exceptionally attractive.
The people.
Yes. However, there are a lot of like weird characters that are a lot to unpack. And I also kind of like the Victoria Beckham doc-series on Netflix.
She has a whole series?
Yeah, it kind of follows her
What do you think
business.
happened to his face? Just filler? David Beckham got like
Probably.
extra filler.
I think that his doctor is probably like, well, you know what Tom Cruise is doing, and just kind of made it up. And then like
It'll
tried
settle
out
down.
something. It'll
look
settle
okay.
down.
Yeah.
But when you watch that series, they feel like they really are a good couple.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with their one son and the weird wife, and they all hate each other now, but I think Victoria and David are pretty solid.
Yeah.
She does talk about it in the series that she has struggled with an eating disorder.
Victoria Beckham does?
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm.
I was surprised that she talked about. And then there was one other one, and now it's like slipping my mind.
Well, and then
But you can get that at katecasey.substack.com. Every Monday I give you a list of what to watch. So if you're like, oh God, what do I watch this week? I always have tons of options for you.
yes, and then she interviews lots of the filmmakers, the documentarians. That's kind of like your vibe, along with everything else, and following all the fun stuff that we do too here. So everyone, follow Kate Casey and check out her podcast, Reality Life with Kate Casey. And yeah, we will be talking all the time. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.